What if living past 100 isn't just about genes, but about how you handle stress? Welcome to Elder Secrets, where we uncover timeless wisdom from those who've defied age. In this episode, we dive into the calming rituals, hidden habits, and mental strength of centenarians. Ready to discover the stress secrets of those who've seen a century? Let's begin.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we crack open incredible sources to unearth the most potent wisdom.
That's the mission.
Today, we're embarking on a truly extraordinary journey. We're trying to unlock the secrets of those who've not just lived a century, but actually thrived through it.
Centenarians. It's fascinating.
Absolutely. Our mission today is to really get into excerpts from Centenarian Stress Mastery, Wisdom Through the Ages. It's this amazing compilation of interviews, research.
Yeah, real stories.
And we want to understand how these remarkable individuals who have navigated through, some of history's most challenging, most tumultuous times, how they manage stress, how do they maintain this incredible sense of inner peace?
And not just peace, but how they flourish. That's the key word for me.
Right.
Because what's truly fascinating here, is we're not just looking at mere survival. We're witnessing profound thriving
through it all.
Exactly. Just imagine people who have personally seen the relentless march of history unfold around them. 2 world wars, economic depressions that literally reshaped nations, global pandemics, and profound, often unimaginable personal losses. The very fabric of human experience.
And yet
they possess this unique, almost palpable equanimity, this calm. So our goal for this deep dive is to really extract their hard-earned wisdom.
Okay.
And this isn't about complex, academic theories or abstract concepts from some textbook.
No jargon.
Right. Instead, we're seeking practical, learnable approaches.
Yeah.
Things that any one of us can adopt to navigate the, let's face it, relentless chaos of modern life.
Something we can actually use.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find, I think, that their insights often challenge conventional wisdom about stress management.
Mm-hmm.
They suggest that true peace isn't really found in avoiding challenges, but in cultivating an inner strength that's forged through lived experience. It's wisdom earned the hard way.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with a story that perfectly illustrates their unique perspective. This one really resonated with me from the source material.
Yeah.
We begin with Rose Martinez. She's a truly remarkable 104-year-old from San Antonio, Texas.
Wow, 104.
Yeah. So imagine sitting in her living room. It's bright, sunny. You're having a quiet conversation. Then the real world intrudes.
Always does.
Her neighbor's dog starts barking incessantly. Like, yep, right next door.
Okay, annoying.
Moments later, a construction crew fires up jackhammers just outside her window, rattling the glass.
Even better.
And through all this, her phone rings. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in quick succession. Turns out there's spam calls blaring into the room.
Okay, that combination would send most people over the edge.
Right. Any one of those might send us spiraling into frustration, irritability.
Definitely.
But Rose, a woman born in 1920 who lived through the Great Depression, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, 9/11, the 2008 crash, COVID, she just smiles.
Yeah, smiles.
Yeah. Pauses for a beat, takes this slow breath, and continues the conversation like nothing untoward is happening.
And then she tells the interviewer with this little twinkle in her eye, Mija, when you've lived as long as I have, you learn that most of the things that upset people today won't matter tomorrow. And the things that will matter tomorrow, she says, well, those are usually not the things people are worrying about today.
That hits hard. That's profound. And it's not just some abstract philosophical wisdom, right? This isn't just something she read.
No, not at all.
This is profoundly hard-earned, forged in the crucible of immense personal and historical upheaval. Think about her background. The source details it. Lost her husband in the Korean War.
Right. Raised 5 kids alone.
As a single mother back then, minimal support, immense economic strain.
And she survives cancer twice.
Battled it with this quiet determination. And then, incredibly, recovers from severe COVID at 103.
Just amazing resilience.
So when she talks about not sweating the small stuff, she isn't speaking in platitudes or, cliches.
She's sharing a truth forged through a lifetime of choosing her battles wisely, of understanding that her finite energy, it has to be preserved for what truly matters.
That connects to the bigger picture, though, what the source calls
the great perspective shift.
Yeah.
It's this profound, gradual change in how they view problems, challenges. It only comes from deep, long-term experience.
It's like an involuntary recalibration.
Exactly. A recalibration of what constitutes a genuine crisis. After what they've seen, today's crisis often looks very different.
And what's truly fascinating is how this perspective shift isn't just about surviving the big historical events.
No, it's more cumulative.
It's about the cumulative effect of living long enough to see patterns repeat themselves in personal life, in global affairs.
Right. Cycles. Margaret Chen, 102, from Vancouver. She lived through the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong, World War II.
Brutal experience.
She put it even more starkly. She said, "When you're young, every problem feels like the end of the world.
Which it often does.
When you're my age," she continued, "you realize the world has ended and began again many times, and somehow we're all still here."
Wow. That's perspective.
She described hiding in basements, bombs falling, neighbors disappearing, not knowing if there'd be food tomorrow.
Unimaginable.
After living through that, she noted, trivial daily irritations, traffic jams, lost keys, an unexpected bill they barely register as problems in the same way.
The scale is just completely different.
Completely. The sheer repetition of crises, endured and overcome, builds this unparalleled sense of resilience. It's almost like an inoculation against panic.
So how do they cultivate this deep-seated, almost innate sense of perspective? Is it just surviving?
It's more than just survival of one big thing. It's the cumulative effect. Seeing patterns repeat, understanding life is cyclical, that the pendulum swings.
The ebb and flow.
Joseph Kowalski, 101, from Chicago. He put it beautifully. He said, every crisis ends. Simple as that.
Okay.
Every problem gets solved or becomes irrelevant. Every period of pain eventually passes.
You just have to live long enough to see it happen again and again.
Exactly. When you've seen this happen hundreds of times, in your own life and in the world, he said, you stop panicking about the current crisis.
Because you know.
Because you know, deep in your bones, that this too shall pass. That's the core of it.
That's a psychologist's call. Temporal perspective.
Temporal perspective, yes. The ingrained ability to place current events, no matter how overwhelming they feel right now, into a broader context of time.
For them, it's not intellectual.
It's a reflex.
Yeah.
Honed by living through countless ends of the world and seeing them become new beginnings. They've witnessed the long arc. Makes today's crisis feel less existential, more like another temporary chapter.
So it encourages us, the listener, to ask that question.
Right. Will this matter in a week, a month, a year?
And if the answer is no?
They intuitively give it proportionally less mental and emotional energy. They save their precious resources for what truly counts.
Okay, that distinction is so critical. Recognizing what genuinely needs our energy, but what about when it does matter? When they face genuinely serious, life-altering challenges.
Right, the big stuff.
Where the answer to, will this matter in a year, is a definite yes. How do they stop those experiences from crushing their spirit?
That's a great question, and it leads us to what the source identifies as the acceptance paradox.
Acceptance paradox, okay.
Eleanor Washington, 101, from Alabama, provides a powerful illustration. She survived the Jim Crow era, endured unimaginable injustices, systemic racism for decades.
Horrific.
While also witnessing tremendous social progress unfold over her lifetime. She shared this profound insight, saying, "Honey, I learned early that you can't fight every battle, but you also can't give up the war."
Powerful.
Acceptance doesn't mean you stop trying, she explained. It means you stop wasting energy fighting reality.
Fighting what is.
Exactly. Once you accept what is, you can put all your energy into creating what could be.
So it's not passive resignation. It's not giving up.
Not at all. This is active acceptance. It's dynamic, courageous, acknowledging reality head-on, however difficult, while still channeling all available energy into improving what can be improved.
So for Eleanor, facing that systemic oppression...
It meant understanding she couldn't change the whole flawed system overnight, but she could focus her formidable energy on specific actions that would bring incremental progress, instead of being paralyzed by despair.
Channeling the frustration into focused effort.
Precisely. Grieving what's lost without becoming bitter, adapting to new limits without losing purpose. It's incredibly strategic, actually.
That dynamic approach, the shift from why me to what now, that feels so critical. A profound pivot internally.
It is. It changes everything.
And it's not just philosophy, it's practical, actionable. Like David Kim, the 105-year-old Korean War veteran.
Yeah, his military saying.
Adapt and overcome. That's served me well for 80 years, he said.
80 years.
When something happens that I don't like, I give myself a little time to be upset about it because that's human.
Okay, acknowledging the feeling first.
Then I quickly moved to asking, okay, this is the new reality. How do I make the best of it? What is the next logical step?
That shift. From why me to what now?
He said it changes everything about how you approach the problem, transforms it from torment into a challenge to be met. You can hear the intentionality.
Absolutely. It's a conscious choice.
Even with aging, the inevitable challenge is there. Rose Martinez, from our first story.
What did she say about aging?
She said, people are always surprised I'm not angry about getting old, needing help. But why would I be angry about something that happens to everyone lucky enough to live this long?
Accepting the natural progression.
Instead of mourning what I can't do anymore, she said, I focus on what I can still do and what I've gained from all these years.
The memories, the lessons.
It's about working with reality, not against it. Finding opportunities and new joys within the limits, not fixating on what's lost. #, strategic emotional energy management.
This profound understanding of perspective and acceptance, it naturally leads right into how centenarians manage their emotional energy. They've mastered what the source calls selective worry.
Selective worry. Okay, tell me more.
It isn't about becoming callous or indifferent, not at all.
Right, not apathy.
It's about becoming incredibly strategic with their finite emotional resources, directing them precisely where they can make a tangible difference.
And deliberately conserving them elsewhere.
Exactly. Just think about the immense mental energy we typically exhaust on what-ifs, anxieties, concerns, completely out of our control.
So much wasted energy.
Centenarians, through decades of refining this skill, show how liberating it is to consciously redirect that internal power towards things that genuinely matter and are within their sphere of influence.
Creating that inner calm, even when things are chaotic outside.
That's the goal. Inner calm amidst the chaos.
That's a crucial distinction then, intelligent allocation. Dr. Sarah Nakamura, 106. She practiced medicine for over 60 years.
60 years. Saw every kind of human crisis imaginable, professionally and personally.
So she learned to channel worry into action, not paralysis.
Right. She told the interviewer, early in my career, I'd lie awake worrying about every patient, every diagnosis, every outcome. Exhausting. Debilitating.
Counterproductive, she said.
Completely. Over time, she explained, I learned to channel my worry into action. If I could do something, order a test, consult a colleague, offer comfort, I'd do it immediately, with full focus.
Okay, tangible steps.
If I couldn't, she continued, if the outcome was truly beyond my control, I learned to let it go.
Not because she didn't care.
Not because I didn't care deeply, she emphasized, but because worry without action is just suffering for no purpose.
Suffering for no purpose. Wow.
It only drained me, she said, of the energy I needed for the patients I could help. It's this principle of strategic energy allocation. Her mental and emotional bandwidth was a precious finite resource.
And this strategic allocation, this selective worry, is illustrated by what many of them practice intuitively, the 3-bucket method.
The 3-bucket method, yeah. Thomas Bradford, 103, a farmer from Iowa, used this great rural wisdom to explain it.
What did he say?
On a farm, you learn quickly you don't water dead crops. And you certainly don't waste precious energy on problems you can't fix.
Makes sense. Focus on what can grow.
Exactly. You focus on tending what can still grow, nurturing the seeds that have a chance. So they consistently categorize concerns into 3 buckets.
Okay, what are the buckets?
Bucket 1, problems they can solve immediately. Bucket 2, problems they can influence over time. And bucket 3, problems completely outside their control.
Ah, okay. Control, influence, or no control.
Right. They focus most energy, active problem solving on the first bucket, some thoughtful consideration on the second, and virtually none, or as little as possible, on the third.
They just let the 3rd bucket go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anna Petrov, 105, from Russia, now in Brighton Beach, she practices this daily as part of her morning ritual.
How does she do it?
She described it. Every morning, if something's worrying me, I ask, what can I actually do about this today?
A tangible action.
If there's something I can do, I make a plan to do it right away. If there's nothing I can do today, nothing I control, I tell myself I'll think about it tomorrow.
Postpone the worry if it's uncontrollable right now.
And most days, she said, by tomorrow it either doesn't matter anymore, or solutions become clear, or my mind's just processed it enough to move on. It's not ignoring problems, it's intelligently managing the internal response, stopping the unproductive rumination spiral.
So A big part of selective worry and really preserving that vital emotional energy is also knowing when and how to protect your own resources. This brings us to the art of saying no.
Ah, yes, a crucial skill and deeply liberating.
Ruth Goldberg, 103, explains it with such powerful simplicity.
So what did she share?
When you're young, she said, you think you have to say yes to everything or people won't like you. You worry about offending, missing out, not being helpful.
The pressure to please. It's intense when you're younger.
But when you get to my age, she continued, you realize people actually respect you more when you're honest about your limits.
Honesty about limits. That's key.
I have limited energy, she stated plainly, physically and emotionally, and I want to spend it on things and people that truly matter to me, things that bring joy or make a real difference.
Wow.
That means saying no to things that don't, she concluded, even if it feels uncomfortable in the moment.
It's not selfishness, as many might fear.
No, she's clear on that. It's a profound recognition that saying yes to everything means saying no to what truly matters to you.
Your well-being, core relationships, meaningful activities.
They've made peace with sometimes disappointing others to maintain their own peace and integrity. They guard their time fiercely. It's their most valuable asset.
And this level of clarity, this self-awareness and intentionality, it also profoundly impacts how they deal with their past. Specifically, the often heavy burden of dealing with regret.
Oh yeah, living a century, you must have regrets, mistakes made.
Absolutely. Decades of experiences to look back on. Yet most of the centenarians interviewed seemed remarkably at peace with their past choices.
They process it for wisdom, not torment.
Exactly. Process for wisdom. Edward Martinez, 1002, shared a really insightful perspective.
What was his take?
I've made plenty of mistakes in my 102 years. Plenty. He was very upfront about it.
Okay.
Hurt people I loved, missed opportunities, made choices I wish I could change. But then he said, spending the rest of my life beating myself up about those mistakes wouldn't help anyone, including me.
Right. It doesn't undo anything.
It wouldn't bring back opportunities or undo the hurt. So, he explained, I've learned to apologize when I can, make amends when possible, truly learn the lesson, and then use that knowledge to make better choices going forward.
The past as a teacher, not a prison sentence, he said.
That's it exactly. So the approach involves key elements. Accept responsibility without excessive self-punishment.
Learn from it without being paralyzed.
Make amends when possible. Seek closure.
Mm-hmm.
And crucially, focus energy on present and future choices, not reliving the past.
Stop dwelling on what if. Focus on what now.
Precisely. Stealing energy from what now is unproductive.
And that same strategic, energy-preserving approach extends to handling criticism and conflict, another unavoidable part of life.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Nagamura, 101, he learned to critically separate criticism of his actions from perceived attacks on his inherent worth.
That's a subtle but huge difference.
Huge. He described his approach. I've learned you can't control how others feel or what they say, but you can control how much energy you spend worrying about it or engaging with it.
Okay, controlling your own engagement.
If someone has valid criticism, he said, something I can actually learn from or act on, I'll listen carefully, ask questions, learn from it.
Be open to constructive feedback.
But, he added, if they're just being difficult, if it's an emotional outburst, a personal attack, or they're just not interested in productive conversation,
then what?
I'll be polite, listen briefly, and then gracefully change the subject or remove myself from the conversation.
Disengage politely.
Life's too short, he concluded, and my energy too precious to spend arguing with people not interested in understanding or just looking for a fight. It's about choosing your battles.
Focusing on where positive change or mutual understanding is possible.
And not wasting energy on fights with no productive outcome. Filtering out the emotional charge, prioritizing internal peace, distinguishing feedback from noise. Beyond these, profound mindset shifts in strategic emotional management, centenarians consistently employ very practical daily habits. These act as powerful, almost invisible stress buffers.
Okay, like what kind of habits?
One significant aspect is the power of routine and ritual.
Routine. Sometimes that sounds boring or rigid.
Right. It often conjures images of drudgery.
Yeah.
But for them, it's the opposite. It's about deliberately creating islands of predictability, comfort, and control in what can often feel like a chaotic world.
Anchors.
Exactly. Anchors in the storm.
Frank Sullivan, 102, retired postal worker from Boston. He emphasized this beautifully. It really changed my view on routines.
What was his routine?
Starts every day the exact same way. Makes coffee, reads the physical newspaper cover to cover.
Old school.
And then tends to his small garden of potted plants on his balcony. carefully pruning, watering each one.
A predictable start.
And he told the interviewer, with this knowing smile, people think routine is boring, a trap. But routine is freedom.
Freedom. How so?
When the basic structure of your day is automatic, he explained, when you don't have to think about every little decision from the moment you wake up, you don't waste energy on small choices.
Conserving mental energy.
And you have so much more mental and emotional bandwidth available, he said, for handling whatever surprises come your way. It's like building a strong foundation.
And neuroscience supports this. Decision fatigue is real. Our brains use a ton of mental glucose making even small decisions.
What to wear, what to eat.
By automating these through routine, they preserve mental resources for bigger challenges, reduce that subtle stress of constant choosing.
And their routines aren't just practical or energy-saving. They're often deeply meaningful, right? Like rituals.
Absolutely. Imbued with a sense of ritual. Maria Santos, 108, from Portugal. She shared this really touching evening ritual.
What does she do?
Every night before bed, she recounted, I light a small candle, always the same one, and I think about 3 things that went well during the day.
3 good things, even on bad days.
Even on bad days. It doesn't matter how bad the day was, she insisted, how challenging or filled with sorrow, there are always 3 good things if you truly look. Even just the warmth of my tea or a kind word from a neighbor.
Wow. That practice carried her through so much loss.
Husband, 2 children. Unimaginable difficulties. It reminds me, she said, that even in the darkest times, there is still light, still beauty, still something to be grateful for.
These rituals provide comfort, continuity.
Exactly. Regular, intentional opportunities for reflection, gratitude, creating what psychologists call positive affect.
Those small emotional boosts.
Yeah, small but consistent boosts that incrementally build resilience and cultivate that underlying peace over time, like deposits into an emotional bank account.
These daily practices often extend into physical practices for mental peace, too, right? Not necessarily intense exercise.
No, not usually about hitting the gym hard or running marathons. For centenarians, it's more about consistent, gentle activity, supporting body and mind harmoniously.
Like Giuseppe Benedetti, 103, from Italy, still walks to the market daily.
Buys fresh bread and vegetables, a decades-long ritual.
People ask why he doesn't get delivery.
And he says.
He told the interviewer, kind of amused, but that walk every single morning is the best part of my day.
Why? What does it do for him?
It gets my blood moving. I see neighbors, feel the sun, hear the city waking up. By the time I get home, he said, any worries I had seem smaller, more manageable. The fresh air and movement clear my mind.
Simple, but powerful.
Yeah.
And many others engage in creative physical practices too, right? Gardening, cooking.
Painting, crafts, repairs. Things that provide gentle exercise, get them into that flow state.
Where time disappears.
And give tangible results. Boosts mood, sense of accomplishment.
And beyond these more structured things, many intuitively use conscious breathing, an innate informal tool for immediate stress management. Not always formal meditation.
Right, like Helen Peterson, 102, from Minnesota.
What was her habit?
When something upsets me, she described, that surge of frustration or anger, I simply take 10 deep breaths before I respond or act.
Learned it from her mother, who learned it from hers.
Just something their family always did. It's not complicated, she said. Doesn't require special knowledge, but it works every time.
What does it achieve?
Those 10 breaths give you a crucial moment, she explained. A small space. Time to think instead of just reacting from impulse or emotion. Lets your nervous system calm and your rational mind re-engage.
Simple, integrated tools.
Yeah.
Creating that vital space between stimulus and reaction.
Which leads to that beautiful, subtle aspect, the wisdom of ordinary moments.
Yes. How simple, accessible tools are often the most profound.
And this conscious observation extends into how they find contentment. Catherine Murphy, 106.
How does she start her day?
Not with news or her phone, but by just noticing things. The way light comes through my window, sounds of the neighborhood waking up, feeling warm and comfortable in bed with tea.
Focusing on small sensory details.
She said, focusing on them starts my day with gratitude instead of worry or feeling overwhelmed. This profound appreciation for simple, everyday activities
means they find deep satisfaction and joy in whatever circumstances they're in.
Right. Not perpetually waiting for special occasions or perfect conditions to feel content.
It's a powerful antidote to modern stress. Makes them less dependent on external factors for well-being, more able to maintain emotional stability and genuine happiness regardless of what's happening outside. Hashtag the power of connection and meaning. When we think about stress, often our instinct is inward. Self-care, personal coping.
Right, focus on the individual.
But centenarians consistently show the incredible strength and resilience found in connection, what the source calls their social network advantage.
And their approach is different, right? Not about huge network.
Exactly. Different from our world obsessed with large social media followings. It's not about having vast numbers of acquaintances. It's about prioritizing depth, intimacy, genuine trust over mere breadth.
Carmen Rodriguez, 103, from Miami, put it so clearly.
What did she say?
When you're young, you think you need to be friends with everyone, be popular, say yes to every invitation.
That pressure again.
But when you get to my age, she continued, you realize life is too short to spend time with people who drain your energy, bring drama, or aren't truly there for you.
Cutting out the energy vampires.
Basically. I have a small circle, she said. People I trust completely who bring me joy and support. We take care of each other without question. That's all you really need.
It's not antisocial. It's discerning. Recognizing relationships can add stress or buffer it.
They become expert cultivators of relationships that are powerful stress buffers, provide unconditional support, not stress multipliers.
Investing deeply in a few meaningful bonds.
And that deep connection is invaluable, almost irreplaceable. Roberto Ginelli, 104, from New York, his weekly card game.
Yes. With the same 3 friends for decades.
30 years, he said. Every Thursday afternoon, without fail. All now in their late 90s or early hundreds.
Imagine the shared history.
In that time, he said, tapping the table, we've buried spouses, navigated countless health scares, worried endlessly about kids and grandkids, celebrated every small victory.
Wow.
When something is truly bothering one of us, he explained, we don't have to explain the whole backstory, the details, they just understand.
They've lived similar lives, seen similar struggles.
That kind of shared history and mutual understanding, he concluded, that deep, unspoken bond is worth more than all the therapy in the world.
That profound mutual understanding, built on decades of shared experience, provides unparalleled emotional support, comfort, validation.
And research backs this up, right? Social support studies.
Consistently, even the small number of deep supportive relationships are among the strongest predictors of resilience, well-being, even longevity. It's a testament to authentic human connection.
This deep connection often extends beyond friends and family, too. It encompasses the role of purpose and meaning in their lives.
Right. And it's not always some grand, world-changing mission.
No empire building needed.
More often, it's a deeply felt, consistently honored sense of what truly matters to them. A reason to get up each morning.
Like Mary Thompson, 107, from rural Montana, her daily phone calls.
To other elderly people living alone in her remote community. Yeah.
She told the interviewer, it's just a few phone calls each day, a small thing, but I know those calls matter deeply to people who might not hear another voice all day.
Providing connection for others.
And finding purpose in it herself. When I'm having a bad day myself, she said, feeling down or lonely, thinking about who I need to check on helps me get out of my own problems, out of my own head.
Shifting focus outward.
Having something bigger than yourself to focus on, she concluded, something that contributes to others, is the best stress medicine there is.
That sense of purpose provides motivation, perspective, generates what psychologists call eudaimonic well-being.
That deep satisfaction from living your values, contributing beyond yourself.
It's a fundamental human need. They've clearly mastered finding it.
And what's fascinating is how this purpose often translates into mentorship and legacy.
Right. Finding meaning and significant stress relief through actively sharing their wisdom and experience with younger generations. It's a two-way street.
Giving and receiving. Harold Johnson, 102, volunteering at a school, reading to kids.
Yeah, helping with literacy programs.
These kids give me so much energy, he said, his eyes sparkling. Their curiosity, laughter, eagerness. They remind me life is full of possibilities.
And his experience matters to them.
My experiences, my stories, he said, can actually help them navigate their own challenges. Even just learning to sound out a word. Teaching them keeps me learning too, keeps my mind sharp.
That active focus on contribution, passing down knowledge and values, it provides purpose, connection across generations, fosters optimism.
They're literally shaping the next generation, ensuring their life lessons resonate.
And while expressions might differ, many also draw significant strength and peace from spirituality and faith, whatever form that takes.
Right. Father Miguel Santos, 105, the retired Catholic priest.
He noted, faith doesn't eliminate suffering, doesn't make pain go away, but it gives suffering meaning.
Believing struggles serve a larger purpose, even if unseen. makes them easier to bear with dignity, hope.
Rabbi Sarah Goldman, 102, added a similar perspective.
What was hers?
I've learned the question isn't ultimately why bad things happen to good people. The more important question is how good people respond when bad things happen.
Faith provides a framework for responding with resilience, compassion, hope, not despair.
Exactly.
And it's not limited to traditional religion either, right?
Not at all. The source highlights Dr. Robert Chen, 103, the atheist former physicist.
Where does he find strength?
In what he calls the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of contributing something positive to the human story, the grand experiment of existence.
A secular reverence, responsibility to humanity.
What unites these diverse views is having a framework for hope and purpose beyond immediate personal concerns. A sense their life connects to something larger, enduring.
That overarching meaning, spiritual or secular, acts as a powerful buffer.
An incredibly powerful buffer against stress, difficulty, existential questions. A stable ground to face any storm. Hashtag navigating life's inevitable challenges.
Yep.
Living a century. It just inevitably means experiencing profound change and often devastating loss.
Comes with the territory.
This gives centenarians a unique, hard-won wisdom of impermanence. They've lived long enough to see everything change, often multiple times over.
Giving them this almost prophetic perspective on problems and pleasures.
Right. And this understanding works in two critical ways for stress management. First, it helps them stay remarkably calm during difficult times.
Because they know.
They know from extensive firsthand experience that challenging periods, however intense, just don't last forever. They're temporary.
And second,
and just as important, it helps them appreciate good times more fully, savoring every moment, because they understand how precious and temporary positive experiences can be.
living with a gentle but profound urgency for joy, that's such a powerful duality. Recognizing the transient nature of both pain and pleasure. William Chen, 106.
Yeah.
His wisdom on grief was incredible.
He lost 2 wives, right? Long marriages both times.
First, after 50 years. Found love again in his 80s, married another 15 years before she passed.
Remarkable capacity for love and loss.
On grief, he shared, grief is the price we pay for love, and it's worth every single penny. It hurts because we loved deeply.
Acknowledging the value in the pain.
But, he continued, I've learned that even grief changes over time. It's not static. The sharp, agonizing pain eventually becomes a gentle sadness, a quiet ache.
And then
that, in turn, often transforms into a grateful memory, a soft warmth when you think of them. Nothing stays the same forever, not the good times, and crucially, not the bad times.
knowing that, believing it makes everything more bearable, more navigable.
This perspective extends even to their own mortality, fostering this profound clarity. Sophia Anderson, 104, from Sweden.
What does she say?
When you know, truly know, your time is limited, each day is a gift, you stop wasting it on things that don't matter.
Stop holding grudges. Life's too short.
You focus on love, on kindness, on making each day count. This profound clarity, she said, this intense focus on the essential is perhaps the greatest gift of age, a distillation of priorities. It actively helps them prioritize, let go of the non-essential.
And this profound understanding helps them particularly with grief and loss. By 100, you've experienced more significant losses, friends, family, spouses, even historical eras than most can imagine.
Yet they carry it without being crushed, without letting it define their remaining years.
Anna Rossi, 106, lost her husband after 62 years of marriage.
62 years. Incredible.
She recounted, with emotion but serenity, people kept telling me I needed to move on and get over it, like it was a sickness.
Dismissive advice often.
But I didn't want to move on from 62 years of the deepest love I'd known. Instead, she explained, I learned to carry that love with me in a new way, to integrate it into my present.
How did she do that?
I still talk to him every morning with my coffee, sharing my day. I still ask myself what he'd think about decisions, feeling his guidance. Death ended our marriage physically, she said, but it didn't end our relationship, our connection, the love.
Integrating grief, not trying to get over it, allowing feelings, honoring memory.
While simultaneously remaining open to new experiences, new ways of living, giving themselves permission to cry, to miss, but also crucially, to live fully in the present.
And as a testament to their adaptability, they've also become masters at handling major life transitions. They've navigated more significant changes than most of us can imagine.
Career shifts, relocations, technological revolutions, health challenges, the changes of extreme aging.
Robert Lee, 102, noted, change is the only constant in life.
The classic quote, but lived experience makes it real.
If you expect things to stay the same, he said, you're going to be constantly disappointed and stressed. I learned early it's far better to expect change, anticipate it, and be pleasantly surprised when things do stay the same.
Than to expect stability and be shocked when things inevitably shift. Makes perfect sense.
They maintain their core identity not by clinging to external circumstances, but by anchoring in daily rituals and unwavering values.
And crucially, viewing transitions not just as losses or endings,
but as opportunities for growth, new learning, staying curious about what might be gained.
and of course, health challenges. An undeniable major source of stress for anyone, especially as we age. How do centenarians handle health challenges and medical stress without being consumed by worry?
Dr. Elizabeth Warren, 108, the retired nurse.
Her observations from decades in hospitals must be insightful.
She said, I've seen thousands of patients. The ones who did best, seemed most at peace, weren't necessarily the ones with the best prognosis or strongest bodies.
So who were they?
They were the ones who focused on taking good care of themselves each day, doing what they could without worrying constantly about the distant future or what might go wrong.
Understanding the limits of their control.
Exactly. You do what you can do. Eat well, move your body, follow doctor's orders, and then you live your life, she advised, focusing on the present moment and the joy it holds.
Focusing on what they can control. Managing their own responses to symptoms, diagnoses, working with healthcare systems, not against them emotionally.
Dr. Elena Petrov, 1004, summed it up perfectly.
What was their summary?
When your body feels good, not in constant pain or exhaustion, your mind is calmer, more able to cope.
The body-mind connection. Obvious, but often overlooked.
When you're in pain or exhausted, she continued, everything seems worse. Every small problem feels insurmountable. Taking care of your physical health isn't vanity, it's the most practical form of stress management.
A direct pathway to mental peace. They truly see it that way.
And having lived through multiple economic downturns, including the Great Depression, they have unique insights on financial stress and security, a huge worry for many today.
Absolutely. What did they learn?
Martha Johnson, 105, lived through the Depression as a teenager, forged a profound lesson.
What?
During the Depression, she recounted, we literally learned to make do with what we had, stretch every penny, and find joy in the simplest things, a shared meal, a good story, a walk.
When you've been truly poor.
You appreciate having enough, she said, and you don't need to have everything or keep up with anyone. That lesson kept me financially stable and emotionally peaceful my entire adult life. I never craved what I didn't have. I cherished what I did.
That highlights a key theme. Distinguishing wants from needs.
Fundamentally, they maintain a remarkably long-term perspective on economic cycles. Understand conditions change, booms follow busts.
Avoiding panic in the face of short-term market jitters or economic anxieties.
Their security comes not just from money, but from an internal resourcefulness and contentment.
For us, living in this highly connected, often overwhelming modern world, their views on technology and modern stressors are particularly insightful, even though most live the majority of their lives without it.
They offer this fresh, almost objective perspective. How much information do we really need? How can tech serve us, not stress us?
A living contrast to the always-on culture.
Dorothy Chang, 103, embodies the selective engagement perfectly. Uses a tablet for video calls with great-grandkids.
Finds that valuable for connection.
But consciously avoids social media. She told the interviewer, with a shrug, I honestly don't understand why people want to know what strangers ate for breakfast or what vacations someone else took.
Fair point.
I have enough real relationships to maintain and cherish, she said, without creating fake ones with people I'll never meet or whose lives have no bearing on mine. Seems like a lot of noise for a little substance.
Filtering the noise. Herbert Gold, 104, does something similar with news.
Reads the physical newspaper once a day, that's enough.
His reasoning.
I don't need to know every terrible thing happening everywhere, every minute, he said. Doesn't help me. Doesn't help the world. I stay informed about things affecting my community, my family, things I can potentially influence or act on.
Not torturing himself with information about problems he can't solve.
Exactly. Dorothy Washington, 103, echoes this. Focuses on relevant news, doesn't torture herself with info she can't act on. It's about selective information consumption.
Recognizing finite mental and emotional resources. Setting clear, firm boundaries around the digital influx.
This selective engagement leads to a really fascinating point, the paradox of aging and stress.
Yes, this was one of the most surprising findings. Many centenarians actually experience less perceived stress now than when younger.
Despite facing more objective challenges, health problems, mobility limits, losing loved ones.
Exactly. Which points to something profound and universally applicable.
What's that?
Stress is not primarily caused by external events, by what happens to us. It's fundamentally caused by our thoughts, interpretations, and reactions to those events.
Our internal response is the key.
This understanding, developed over decades of lived experience, offers immense freedom to anyone willing to cultivate it. The true source of stress mastery lies within our own minds, how we choose to engage with reality.
And this understanding extends directly to the paradox of control, something many of us struggle with. Maria Gonzalez, 105, explained this beautifully.
Clarifying what control really means.
I used to think control meant making everything go the way I wanted, she said, bending the world to my will, constant frustration and anxiety.
Been there.
Now I know, she continued, real control means managing my own reactions and making the best choices I can with the information I have, regardless of the outcome.
Focusing on your own actions and responses.
When I stopped trying to control everything else, she concluded, surrender to the fact much of life is beyond my direct influence, I found I actually had more influence over my own life, more peace, more effective action, not less.
Trying to rigidly control external outcomes often backfires, creates more stress. Focusing internally leads to better results with less suffering.
Indirect action, recognizing where true influence and peace lie.
One of our most valuable tools, and maybe one that feels most countercultural today, is the wisdom of patience.
In our fast-paced, instant gratification world, patience feels radical.
George Washington, 101, stated it plainly. Young people today want everything right now. Instant success, answers, solutions.
True.
But the best things in life, he argued, the truly enduring things, take time. A good marriage takes decades to build. Children take years to raise properly. Even a good garden takes a season.
Learning to wait, trust the process.
Learning to wait for things to unfold naturally, he said, learning to trust the process and time, has saved me enormous stress and disappointment. It's not passive waiting.
No, it's active trust.
Active trust in time and process. Understanding rushing often creates more problems. It connects to that seasonal thinking some mentioned.
Like Giuseppe Romano, the retired farmer.
Yeah, on the farm, you learn everything has its season. Planting, growing, harvesting, rest. Fighting the natural rhythm just creates unnecessary suffering, exhausts you.
Work with the seasons, not against them. What's truly remarkable, maybe one of the most powerful lessons, is their ability to actively cultivate creating joy in difficult times.
Yes, not toxic positivity pretending everything's fine.
No, not dismissing real suffering.
It's the conscious, cultivated skill of nurturing small moments of happiness and beauty, even when larger circumstances are profoundly challenging.
Carmela Toretti, 104. During that severe illness, bedridden for months.
What did she do?
She ensured she did at least one thing each day that brought me joy, no matter how small.
Like what?
Maybe listening to favorite music, really letting it fill the room, calling a beloved friend, just watching birds outside my window.
Small moments.
These small moments, she reflected, didn't solve my health problems, didn't magically make pain go away. But they reminded me life was still worth living. Beauty still existed.
Building resilience and hope during a very trying time.
They understand joy isn't just a byproduct of good circumstances. It's a deliberate choice, an act of defiance against hardship, a powerful builder of inner strength.
Finally, looking at their expansive lives, we see this clear evolution of priorities.
Things that seemed all-consuming when younger just fade.
Material possessions, social status, career achievements, constant busyness. They tend to gracefully fade in importance. Margaret O'Connell, 108, described this shift beautifully.
What was her insight?
When I was young, she said, I thought happiness came from nice things, impressive accomplishments. Spent so much energy trying to impress people who didn't really matter, chasing external validation.
A common trap.
Now, she continued, after living through so much, I know with absolute certainty happiness comes from loving and being loved, from being useful to others meaningfully, and from truly appreciating the simple pleasures available every day.
The core essentials.
I wish I had learned this sooner, truly, she admitted, but I'm immensely grateful I learned it at all. This fundamental shift naturally reduces stress.
By redirecting focus from fleeting externals to what genuinely matters for well-being.
Not chasing insatiable wants. It's a refinement, a distillation of values based on hard-won life experience. Recognizing the truly enduring sources of peace and contentment. #tag lessons for you, the learner.
So you might be asking, how can you start applying these profound lessons today? integrate this wisdom into your life, even if you're not 100 yet.
And the good news is these aren't complex theories needing a lifetime of study. They are practical, learnable approaches. You can start shifting your experience right now.
Okay, so first, examine your current stress patterns. Honestly assess how much mental, emotional energy you spend on things you genuinely cannot control.
Then practice selective worry, like Dr. Nakamura. Consciously choose where to invest that precious mental bandwidth.
Second, cultivate deep relationships intentionally. Prioritize depth over breadth. Actively choose and invest in people who energize you, understand you, provide genuine support.
Just like Carmen Rodriguez and Roberto Ginelli did. Quality over quantity.
Third, develop simple daily practices. Create routines and rituals providing stability, meaning, moments of quiet joy.
Like Frank Sullivan's routine or Maria Santos's gratitude ritual, find what works for you.
Fourth, embrace active acceptance. Distinguish clearly between what you can and cannot control in a situation. Then focus your energy and action accordingly.
Channeling Eleanor Washington and David Kim's approach, what now? Not why me?
Fifth, embrace the wisdom of impermanence and patience. Understand both good and challenging times are temporary, like seasons.
And the best, most fulfilling things often take time to unfold naturally. Remember William Chen and George Washington.
Sixth, actively find joy in ordinary moments. Consciously train yourself to appreciate small, simple pleasures.
Catherine Murphy's morning noticing practice, a powerful antidote to modern anxiety.
And finally, seventh, be fiercely intentional with technology and information. Set clear boundaries, consume information selectively, avoid mental overload and emotional exhaustion.
Follow the lead of Dorothy Chang and Herbert Gold. Filter the noise.
These aren't just ideas, they're actionable steps. Profound yet simple choices you can start integrating today for greater peace and resilience.
And the truly encouraging news is, while these centenarians developed their wisdom through lived experience, not science labs, modern science actually backs up and validates so much of this intuitive wisdom.
That's fascinating. Like what?
Well, research on cognitive reappraisal directly validates changing how we think about stressful situations. That mirrors their temporal perspective, asking if it'll matter later.
Okay.
Social support research consistently confirms quality, deep relationships are far more beneficial for health and well-being than lots of casual ones.
Yeah.
Just like they prioritize.
Makes sense.
Studies on purpose and meaning consistently show a strong sense of purpose, increases resilience, boosts happiness, even contributes to longevity,
Okay.
echoing Mary Thompson helping others.
Right.
Neuroscience on mindfulness and breathing practices supports their intuitive use of conscious breathing for immediate stress response, like Helen Peterson's 10 deep breaths.
Simple, effective.
And compelling research on routine and ritual shows predictable daily practices actually reduce cortisol, our stress hormone, and preserve cognitive resources. Exactly what Frank Sullivan felt routine is freedom.
Wow, the science really aligns.
It does. And it's fascinating, too, that while cultural expressions differ, maybe collectivistic cultures emphasizing family more, individualistic focusing on agency, the underlying principles are remarkably consistent.
Across cultures.
Whether from Italy, Japan, Russia, the American Midwest, the core themes, perspective, active acceptance, deep relationships, routine, selective worry, finding meaning, creating joy in the ordinary, they're universal.
Suggesting timeless truths about human resilience.
Exactly. Truths that transcend culture and speak to our shared human experience. Hashtag outro.
What really stands out to me most after, immersing ourselves in these incredible stories is the profound understanding that stress management isn't just about feeling better right now or just coping.
It's deeper than that.
It's about developing this deep internal wellspring of skills and perspectives, allowing us to thrive through whatever life presents, building this deep-seated resilience that actually strengthens with each difficulty we navigate.
An evolution of self, a deliberate journey towards inner peace, regardless of external storms.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, maybe the centenarian's greatest gift isn't some secret formula or a magic pill for longevity.
No, it's something more human.
It's living proof that it's profoundly possible to age with grace, find peace in uncertainty, and maintain joy and wonder even after profound loss and disappointment.
Their collective message is ultimately one of profound hope.
Hope that we can learn to navigate life's challenges with greater skill and significantly less suffering.
That we can build relationships that truly sustain us.
And that we can find purpose and satisfaction even amidst uncertainty and constant change.
They demonstrate undeniably that the capacity for joy and meaning exists within us, whatever our circumstances.
So this deep dive reveals the wisdom of centenarians isn't just about living longer. It's about living better, living more richly, more peacefully.
And that wisdom is available to all of us.
Starting right now, in this very moment. With whatever challenges and opportunities you face today, what simple centenarian practice will you integrate into your life this week?
Will it be a moment of active acceptance, deliberate, selective worry, finding that flicker of joy in an ordinary, overlooked moment?
Here's something to mull on.
What if the key to managing today's overwhelming, complex world isn't more complexity, more apps, more elaborate self-help techniques, more striving,
But maybe a radical embrace of simplicity.
rooted in the enduring, distilled wisdom of those who have truly seen it all and learned to find peace in the most essential elements of life?
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.